And while EQM is talking to their shareholders, I wanted to remind the folks of West Virginia and Virginia that are affected by this pipeline project that we are also stakeholders. This project runs through our neighborhoods, our farms, and our communities. And it is important to remember that we have a stake in this. And part of that stake is ensuring that this project is done properly. And we want to emphasize what's at stake for us as stakeholders. I'm holding a stake. It says, what's at stake? On the back side of it, it says my daughter's dreams. And I want you to understand that since this pipeline project has started, my daughter does not get to sleep in peace anymore. She wakes up with nightmares. In the last 6 months, since the beginning of 2018, there have been 6 pipelines explosions in Appalachia. 6. This is a 42-inch frac gas pipeline going through our neighborhood, through my farm. Nobody knows what a 42-inch gas pipeline explosion looks like or what the damages will be. Nobody. And we want people to understand that this is what's at stake. My farm is at stake. My family's livelihood is at stake. My ability to have a future for my children and my grandchildren on our property is at stake. That's why we're here today. We want to lay claim as stakeholders in this project and make sure that it's not just about the project's profitability at the end of the day that we're talking about. It's about what's at stake for the people that have to live every day with the project going through their backyard. I'll take questions.
I guess I need to ask, just for clarification, are you calling yourself stakeholders not in a literal sense, but in a symbolic sense? You're not literal shareholders?
No, sir. Stakeholder, according to the definition, is anybody that is affected by a business. Whether that be someone who has a share in that business or somebody that's affected by the way that business is handled or being done. We are laying claim to the second aspect of it. We are stakeholders in the sense that we have a stake in how they do their project, how their project affects our water, our land, our air. We're stakeholders in that sense.
Where is your farm?
My farm is in Summers County, West Virginia, up off of Duncan Branch Road, and we have had some issues with Mountain Valley Pipeline in the past that's been fairly well covered, but ultimately we have some issues in regards to whether we're going to be able to have our sustainable farm up there or not. So it's definitely what's at stake for us.
Has the company tried to work with you in terms of the impact to your property, to your farm, other than the court cases that have come through? Is there anything that you've met with them one-on-one, any discussions?
I have attempted to meet with them one-on-one. When they failed to take responsibility for the actions, we had no choice but to file in federal court.
Which case in particular?
That would be Blackberry Botanicals, all of my family members versus MVP, Trinity, and a variety of other things. I can't say a whole lot about that right now because it is in litigation. Ultimately, though, that's one of the things that we're affected by.
How important is it for you guys to lay your stake here at the courthouse?
It is important for us to lay our stake not just at the courthouse, but in many locations throughout West Virginia and Virginia, because it's important for people to understand that we do have a stake in this. Not just me as a landowner, not just Mark Jarrell as a landowner, not just Maury Johnson as a landowner, not just Anway Bernard or Carolyn Riley as farm owners who have had their property absolutely destroyed by Mountain Valley Pipeline in the process. But so that other people understand that they all live downstream. If the water is contaminated up at my property, it flows down into Lick Creek, it flows down into the New River, it becomes somebody's drinking water. So we all have a stake in this. And it's important that people realize that this is the stake that we have.
How long have you lived on the farm?
We have been on our farm for going on 5 years now.
The litigation, past or present, is the overarching reason for that the company did not keep certain promises, or that they said one thing was happening and did another?
I'm going to have to defer that question to my attorneys, simply because they've asked me specifically not to speak about that case in this situation. And it is a matter of public record. You're more than welcome to go look at it, but I'm not gonna comment on it.
What would you like from MVP and from the government as this project moves forward?
That is an absolutely great question, and I'm glad you asked it. A lot of folks are not aware that the West Virginia Department of Environmental Protection has a single inspector for the entire southern region. That means he was responsible not only for Mountain Valley Pipeline Project, he's also responsible for the MXP, he's also responsible for the ACP. There is no way, no physical way, for that inspector to be able to cover that much ground and properly ensure that this project is being done in a viable manner. Maury Johnson can speak a little bit more to that question here a little bit later, but I will tell you that when we call in something such as sediment-laden water running off of the right-of-way down into our streams, we may not see an inspector for a week because he has obligations to be on other projects or spreads. So that violation may not get reported, and that sediment's just going to be in the water. There's nothing we can do about it. Unfortunately, the way our system works, citizen-reported violations are not an automatic violation. So it's one of those things that we struggle with. Our government approved this project, and instead of giving it the oversight and supervision that it needed to be installed properly, they failed to do that, and I think that's an important thing to make sure people are aware of.
How much is the project coming through your land?
The project crosses my property only 525 feet, but it also covers the entire backside along the edge of my property to neighboring properties as well, and affects the area of wetland directly behind my property. As a matter of fact, that's another area of concern that we currently have. MVP does not currently have a nationwide 12 permit, which means they're not allowed to work in wetlands, but they've been working in this wetland. They recently cleared the trees out, they built a bridge across it, and they are bringing pipes and everything else across that wetland now. I'm working with the Army Corps currently to try and decide, get some information from them as to whether that's an actual violation or not. We don't know yet. We, from our point of view, think that it's something that shouldn't be being done because the nationwide 12 permit was revoked and they're not supposed to be working in wetlands. But here they are working in wetlands. And of course, we're not attorneys. We don't know all the answers, but we're seeking them and we're searching them out and we're hoping to get them.
Well, go ahead.
I was going to say, can we cycle out, or can I get my microphone back and interview somebody else? Because I have a tight deadline.
Yes. As a matter of fact, I'm ready to switch. I will speak some more here in a little bit, but I do want to give everybody